everybody, welcome back to my studio. I'm Nettie Kaye. Today I'm working away at my painting of the large oversized apples for my customer on nettieKaystudio.etsy.com. She ordered it and wanted a metallic background in oil. Now many of you wouldn't even know that existed, that you could get a paint in oil that was a gold metallic. Yes, there's only one company that I'm aware of, and that's the gambling company, so that's where I found it. If there's more, I'd like to know if you found any more that anybody else has made. But meanwhile, I made some discoveries I want to share with you. I've got one tube of paint. It's called Rich Gold, and it's a light gold color paint. This is it right here on my palette. It's a light gold, and what I've discovered is if I take that light gold and mix it with transparent colors in my paint box, such as transparent orange, cadmium red, alizarin crimson, sap green, anything that's transparent, including phthalo blue, all kinds. Oh, and a quinacridone magenta. That's a really good one. If I mix that with this base of rich gold, I can get metallic paints in all different colors, a lot of different colors. Now what you don't do is you don't mix white with it, because it's just like any other oil paint in that regard. If you mix white with it, the color goes down. You lose the pigment power in your paint if you add white to any color, all right? So don't add white. The other thing is one of my number one rule in painting is do not overmix. Don't overmix. It kills the color. That's going to be on my next t-shirt most likely. Don't overmix. It kills the color. And so I tell this to my kids all the time. If I take this metallic gold and I mix it a lot back and forth with my transparent colors, all that happens is it turns very, very flat. It just happens. What happens when you mix your paint for your wall? They put it in that shaker and they mix it, and it's all homogeneous, and it doesn't have anything interesting in it. So don't overmix it. Third thing, don't use a paintbrush. Don't use a paintbrush unless you want to kind of kill it. The brush strokes take down the luminosity, which means that glowing thing that happens. Brush strokes will take it down because the light has to hit that, and then you don't have that sheen. So how do you apply it? Let me tell you how. So my secret is using a palette knife when you apply this particular paint, and when you blend it. And I want you to think about when you watch one of those cooking shows and they're folding the egg whites into a cake batter. They don't turn the mixer on, all right? They fold it in like this, and they don't disrupt the bubbles in the eggs, okay? Well, we're going to do the same thing with paint. First thing I do is I take my, a little bit of the gold, the rich gold. I'm going to put it in a new place so I don't contaminate the whole thing. And now I've got some Neo Megilp or some medium. Now I used a gel on this because, number one, if I was trying to show it to you, it would run right off if it wasn't a gel. This is Neo Megilp. It has a little bit of a body to it. And I'm going to add the medium to the gold paint. Now instantly I get a weird chemical reaction. And it gets to the point where it looks like it looks just slightly darker. It's just part of what happens with this particular chemical combination. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say is that if I don't add this in, it dries so fast, it's almost like acrylic. Okay, it's not exactly acrylic. It takes a little bit longer to dry, but it will dry overnight. It's just the way the paint works with that metal in it. So it darkens it in spots. It just does this kind of weird thing. And so I've added a little bit of the medium to it. And now I'm going to add some, I'm going to add the transparent orange. It's one of my favorites. I fold the, just a little bit of that transparent orange into the gold that's already got the medium in it. All right, now here's the secret. I'm going to scoop the whole thing up. Okay, I've just picked up a middle tone blue canvas so that you can see it, because I don't think you'd be able to see it up here. So here I have my rich gold kind of marbled in with the transparent orange and the medium, and I'm going to now lay it down onto the canvas like this, okay? I just unloaded the whole thing onto this canvas, and now I'm going to take it and take the top. I'm not going to push it down. Like if you were frosting a cake, you wouldn't put a lot of pressure on your frosting, because number one, you damage the cake underneath and you'd end up with crumbs all in your frosting. But you know how you do it. You just gently move the paint around in little kind of swirls, and you move it out from where you've laid it down, and you just get these wonderful marbled effects. We just keep moving it out, and then we move it out a little bit like this and push it down a little bit. Now I'm not going to just keep going over it and over it and over it. If you can do it just one time, do it just one time. Don't just go back until you kill the whole thing. All right, that's not good. All right, so let's try a few different combinations now. I'm going to try a little bit of the rich gold mixed with the medium, and I'm going to try a little bit of sap green this time. And we'll see what the difference is. I'll go right underneath it so you can sort of tell. Here's a little bit of that green color. I wonder if you can see that. I'm going to now add a little bit more of the green so that you can see it. I hope. How about some really dark? Yeah, there we go. There's a little bit of the green. This will be a pretty canvas to paint something on, won't it? And this time I'm going to take some of the quinacridone magenta. Pick the whole thing up. Woo! Pick the whole thing up. And I'm going to go above it and just let you see what that looks like. There. You get this incredible marbling. It just looks like marble in some ways. So if you did a whole wall with it, wow, would that be expensive? Oh, anyway, and you just push it around a little bit like this. Okay. Should get this stabilized a little bit. Anyway, all my wiggling around. So I've got that, and I pushed that around. You can do it with, here's my blue. Let's do a little blue. Now this one's a little bit darker. Where shall I put this one? I'll put this one under the green. There's a blue metallic, like that. And so that's how I do it. Now, what if I just put the straight gold on it? Let's see if I can even do that. I'll put a little straight gold there, like that. Well, that's not very exciting. It's a lot more exciting when you add colors to it than if you just put the straight metallic paint on there. So really, I just think about it as though it's a base color. The other thing you got to watch out for is when you squeeze the tube out, it wants to keep coming out. So you got to watch out. It'll just like push the whole thing out. It seems to be self-propelled. Okay, so I've laid out a little bit more of this gold paint, and I'm going to once again put in the Neo Mega Medium into it, a little bit. And now I'm going to try to add a little bit of the red color. It's like a Chinese red almost, but it's actually a cadmium red light and a little bit of cadmium yellow. What does that do? Wow, that's really cool. Let's put a little bit more cadmium yellow in it. That's nice. Okay, so I'll pick that up, pick that whole thing up. I'll take my palette, I'm going to turn this one upside down now, and I'm going to put that combination on. Ooh, I think I found a new favorite. So cadmium red light and cadmium yellow with our rich gold color. Now you don't see as much of the sparkles. It depends on how the light hits it. but it gives it kind of an amazing luminous effect that could work very easily. The more transparent the color is, the more successful your mixtures are going to be. So test them all out and let me know what you discover. Find an old, cheap canvas to play on, or just try them on your palette. That's one way to do it too. Okay, so that's a nice piece of art, isn't it? All right, everybody, I got to get back to work on this painting. This lady has been patient enough, and I've got to get it finished up. So if you really enjoyed this and you learned something, don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. And I will hopefully see you again next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.